Hey everyone, it's Sarah. Today I'm going to be talking about ways that you can increase the conflict and tension in your fiction. Conflict is essential for any good story. It's nice to have interesting characters, but if there's no conflict, there really isn't a plot. If you think about all the books that you love, I guarantee you somewhere in there you're going to find some conflict. So if you're looking at your fiction and you're thinking about ways that you can increase the conflict and amp up the tension so that your readers will be more interested in what's going on, I'm going to give you a few tips that will help you to do that. The first thing you want to do is to raise the stakes. One way to accomplish this is to ask the question, what will happen if my protagonist does not reach his or her goal by the end? In a story like The Hunger Games, for example, this goes to the extreme, and if Katniss doesn't reach her goal by the end, she's going to be dead. Sometimes it's more subtle than that, especially if you have the story centering around internal conflict. But if you are going through and you're looking for ways to amp things up in your plot to keep the readers interested, ask yourself if there's anywhere where you can raise the stakes. The next thing you want to do is to complicate the story. No one wants to read about normal people going about their day and nothing happening. So ask yourself, what kind of obstacles can you throw in your protagonist's way? How could the situation that they're in get any worse? What kind of problems or issues will come up that they have to deal with? It's always nice if you put your characters in a situation that seems impossible, where the readers are asking themselves, well, how is she going to get out of this? You want to keep the reader interested. That's the most important thing, especially if you're writing with the goal to entertain your audience. Don't let your characters off easy. Put them in difficult situations. Put them in trying situations. Give them obstacles. Make them go on a journey or rise to the occasion or overcome challenges. These are the kind of things that people want to read about. The next thing you can do is give your characters conflicting goals. So if you have a character that wants to get divorced, for example, and then their husband wants to stay married, that's obviously going to create some conflict. Now, one of them is going to have to sacrifice or compromise, or by the end, they're going to have to reach some kind of resolution. One of them's going to have to change or learn something or grow. One good way to help with this is to go through and list all of your characters and write out what each character wants. Sometimes when I do this, I'll discover things about the story that I wouldn't have even thought of otherwise. Another thing that will definitely increase the tension and the pressure is to give your character a deadline. So this could be something as intense as you have to solve this puzzle by the end of 10 minutes or the bomb's gonna go off. It could be something a little less intense, like you have 1 month to sell your house. Whatever it is, if you give your character a time frame in which the goal has to be accomplished, that puts more pressure on your character, and it kind of will increase the tension and raise the stakes. When you're thinking about conflict, it might be a good idea just to write out what you think the conflict is. You would be surprised how many people could write 100 pages of a novel without actually knowing what the conflict is. I know I've done that before. So you definitely want to know what your main conflict is It's good if you can use a combination of internal and external conflict. Internal conflict is when someone is having conflict within themselves. External conflict is when a character is having conflict with an outside force. It can be another person or a situation. So you want to use a combination of the two. Once you've figured out the main conflict that's going to run through your story the whole way, you can go through each scene and ask yourself, is this escalating the conflict? Is this propelling the plot forward? Does this increase the tension? And if not, what are some ways that I can raise the stakes or make the situation more difficult? What are some obstacles I can put in my character's path? Are there any unexpected situations that might come up? Things like that. Alright, that's all I have for today. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think about conflict and tension, and if there are any helpful ways that you like to think about increasing the conflict. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and subscribe to my mailing list, The Daily Writer, if you want to receive daily writing inspiration. I'll leave a link to that down below. And next week I'm going to be talking about how to write better dialogue. So make sure you check that out, and I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Happy writing!